Right, gentlemen, we're now going to at the stage of where during the opening, Clive, we've indicated you'll go first. And just please tell us your story and what it is that you feel have brought you to the current situation.
Alan, do you mind if I make notes as he speaks?
Tony, you can do that with pleasure. What I must remind you, though, is that at the end of this mediation, all notes are going to be destroyed.
Okay,
So
that's
feel
fine.
free, that's fine.
Thank you. Yes, Alan, I'm appreciative of this opportunity to come to this mediation, but I'm also very angry because I believe that I'm owed a lot of money. I'm a businessman and money is important to me. And Joe or Dr. Stanford, whatever he wants to call himself. I mean, I've always called him Joe, and suddenly now I hear he wants to be Dr. Stanford. I gave him an opportunity. As a businessman, I saw an opportunity. I came back from Canada and I brought this equipment over to help people with their backache and neck ache. And I gave him an opportunity, and he's just, he screwed it up. And I'm sitting in a situation where he owes me 350,000 Rand. He's not paying, and I'm just very angry about it. I'm a chartered accountant.
You didn't do a bad job in screwing it up yourself.
Dr. Stanfield,
I'm a
sorry
chartered
to
accountant.
Clive.
I know what I do with money.
Yeah, Clive and Dr. Stanfield, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Doctor, but as I told you before, I'm in control of the process, and we did have an agreement. I'd like to remind both of you. I'd like to remind both of you about the agreement, and please, if we can just give one of the parties an opportunity to finish before we make a note, Doctor, and then you can always come back to it.
I've written down screwed up,
That's fine.
Dr.
Clive, I'd also just perhaps at this point just say, tempers are going to flare perhaps from time to time, but I'd also urge you both, let's try and address one another in a civil manner. Let's try and get the information across. Can I have your agreement on that, Clive?
Yes, but I am really angry with the
that.
situation that I'm in, and I want a solution, and I'm skeptical about mediation. My attorney has also told me this is the best option for me to take, and that's why I'm here today. I want this case to be solved, and I want my money. For me, it's simply a matter of money. I leased a building to Joe, and he's in arrears to an amount of 350,000 Rand, and I expect him to pay me. For me, it's just a matter of, show me the money. That's why I'm here. He's a good doctor. He was my doctor for a long time. Obviously not anymore. But as a businessman, he's completely failed. And I'm just very angry about it. And I want a solution for that as soon as possible.
Anything else?
Well, you said something about we're going to have private sessions, because I think maybe there are stuff I would like to tell you in private sessions rather. Mostly, I just want to say that I'm quite skeptical, and I just sometimes just feel like I just need to sue. Now I just need to sue, get this case over and done with, get judgment against him. He's got no defence against my claim whatsoever. So I would like a solution. That's all I want.
Thank you. Dr. Stanfield, your turn.
Thank you. I didn't screw up, that's for sure. I think that from me having been a practitioner for a very long time, I was true to what I've been taught, which was abide by the ethical rules of the Health Professions Council, which unfortunately Clive was not aware of, didn't abide by because he didn't have to. And I believe that from my point of view, I actually bailed him out of a very, very difficult situation. Yes, I was your family practitioner. I'm sad to hear that I'm not any longer. That relationship was a fairly successful one. I thank you for having helped out when it was difficult. But from our point of view, the machinery which was brought in by Clive, that R1 million worth of machinery to address neck and back pain, was completely out of the norm for the country, for South Africa. It was run incorrectly. It was run by a non-medical person. It was run by a bookkeeper who appears to have done an excellent job in keeping the books. And Clive found himself on the wrong side of the Health Professions Council. Now, that's a dangerous place to find yourself, because he's not a doctor, so he's not ruled by the council, but they could very, very easily ask another body to take him in terms of the Health Professions Council Act for having masqueraded as a medical practitioner. When he realized that he was in trouble, that's when he came to me. And he indicated that I could help, and I could help fulfill what was my dream, which was to start a sports clinic. But I didn't have the capital to do that. And I saw this as one of the ways of assisting the South African sports fraternity, if they developed neck and back pain, using Clive's machinery, to build it into the kind of centre that I've always wanted to have but I couldn't afford. And yes, Clive, I am a bad businessman. I care about people. I don't care about money that much. And I'm sad and saddened to hear that this is just all about the money, because I actually thought that it had a lot to do with the relationship that we had attempted to build. Sadly, it didn't work out. I wasn't able to balance the books. I was more concerned with the people that had pain and ameliorating that pain. And by the time I looked round, things had gotten out of control. I didn't have the operating capital to continue. And that's when I went back to Clive with the kind of philosophy, psychology of a favor for a favor, and say, I bailed you out of this one. You're going to help bail me out of that one. Because I desperately wanted to continue, because I really believed that this was the way to go. And I don't believe that Clive was honest. Because he said no problem.
Well, that's outrageous.
I mean, Clive, I'm sorry to interrupt you again. We did have the agreement that there wouldn't be any interruptions. Can I just remind you about that?
No, but he can't just call me dishonest.
I understand. Make a note, and then we can deal with that at a later stage, if you don't mind. Let's just stick to the ground rules.
Let me say that maybe honesty was lacking somewhere, and let that rest with whoever it feels more comfortable. But I was completely unaware that the amount of money that was being loaned to us was on an urgent repayment basis. I had a superb bookkeeper, and she showed me that in fact we were starting to turn around and point in the right direction. So I'm awfully sorry that it hasn't worked. I really did want it to work, but I've really had enough now. I'm a family practitioner. I want to get out of this. I want to go back to seeing people who appreciate me. And from my point of view, I'm really most annoyed. I feel affronted. And if Clive has in his mind that it's all about the money, then I'll face money with money. And if it's necessary, if you attempt to sue me on this one, I'll counter-sue you for misrepresentation, for bringing my character into disrepute. So I don't think that's going to be an easy ride, Clive. I am as annoyed and affronted as you might be. I think I'm just bottling it up in a slightly different way.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Dr. Stanfield. Gentlemen, that brings to a close our joint session. I'm now going to go into the side sessions. And as I indicated earlier, Clive, because you went first in the opening session, I'm going to speak to Dr. Stanfield first. So if you would please relax outside, there's some refreshments for you. There's also internet access if you want to do some business. I know you're an active businessman. Please make yourself at home.
Thank you very much.